I want to welcome you to the third Civic Renewal Award ceremony presented by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. My name is Michael Ware. I'm the founder, CEO, president of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. Now, when we launched CCPL 3 years ago, we launched with the mission to contend for the credibility of Christian resources in public life for the public good. And we have a vision for a healthier politics and public life that benefits from positive Christian contribution. Those contributions, these resources, sometimes take the form of ideas or projects or institutions, but at the very core of our theory of change is the person. We think that's most vital, the kind of people who make up our politics and public life. After all, at the center of the Christian faith is not a series of right ideas or right answers, but a person. And if we want to change our politics, that's where we'll start. Now, the Civic Renewal Award was created to uplift Christians who have made extraordinary contributions to the health and well-being of their community and nation. 2 years ago, at our inaugural award ceremony, we honored Sister Norma Pimentel, Executive Director of Catholic Charities of the Rio Grande Valley, for her remarkable efforts in serving and advocating for the marginalized and vulnerable along the U.S.-Mexico border. We also honored the late Timothy Keller, founder, longtime pastor of Redeemer Presbyterian Church. We honored him for his contributions to New York City and to transforming the way that pastors and nonprofit leaders think about city, faith, and work. Last year, we honored Dr. Barbara Williams Skinner, a trailblazing leader in faith-based community engagement who co-founded the Skinner Leadership Institute and is an influential, trusted advocate on a range of public policy issues, including civil rights and voting rights. And then we honored Mac McCarter, founder of Community Renewal International, who's dedicated his life to fostering community transformation. And after serving as a pastor for 18 years in Texas, Mac McCarter moved back home to Shreveport in 1991, where he started to build his vision for CRI. The recipients of the Civic Renewal Award come from different traditions with different points of view and different areas of focus, but what they share in common is that because God first loved them, they love God. And because they love God, they love people. And because they love people, they seek to serve people, especially the poor, the downtrodden, the disinherited. What they share is that they have dedicated their lives to service, to serving all kinds of people, to upholding the dignity of each and every person made in the image of God. The 2025 recipients of the Civic Renewal Award are no exception. To introduce the first recipient of the Civic Renewal Award, it's really a joy to introduce to you Congressman Emanuel Cleaver. Congressman Cleaver is a pastor. He's the former mayor of Kansas City, and he's represented the 5th District of Missouri since 2005. He led the Congressional Black Caucus from 2011 to 2013. He helped start something he shares with the person he's honoring, is that they both held leadership roles in the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. Congressman Cleaver earned a Master of Divinity degree from St. Paul School of Theology, and from 1972 to 2009, he was the senior pastor at the St. James United Methodist Church in Kansas City. It is a pleasure to invite Congressman Cleaver to introduce and honor our first awardee, Congressman Cleaver.
Thank you very, very much. You didn't have to mention I was from Kansas City just because they won 2 of the last 3 Super Bowls. And, of course, decimated a team this past Sunday. I think it would be inappropriate to begin an introduction using that. Thank you very much. I believe sometimes that God is unfair, and it appears that way. One of my favorite sermons, which is a point of, I guess, theological arrogance, but I called it Words, Words. And in that sermon, I talked about a sermon that I heard from Otis Moss, Sr. And he quoted Dr. Howard Thurman in that sermon, which introduced me actually to the theological prowess of one of the most brilliant and amazing human beings I've ever been around. The only part I didn't like is I think that Otis Moss has one of those voices that is magical. Even if he was not profound, which he is, you would become captivated with that voice and his usage of language. Otis Moss is an amazing human being. If you just think about, what would be a picture drawn in heaven, which included some of the giants who had given their lives in the move to dismantle bigotry and hatred in this country. And they would be people who attended the wedding of Otis Moss. Otis Moss and his wife were married by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And the people standing around them, just absolutely amazing. Hosea Williams, a name you may not know, get to know it. He's one of the unsung heroes of the movement. And then there was Ralph Abernathy. There was Fred Shuttlesworth, who coined the frame Birmingham after his home was bombed on Christmas Day, and I think there were 15 other bombings of black residents. And then there was Andrew Young. And if you didn't see that special that was on CNN Sunday night, if it comes back, please see this story of Andrew Young that Rachel Maddow produced. But all of those giants were there because Martin Luther King married or performed a ceremony for a giant. And man, he had the mastery of words. And words are so critically important in what all of us do. Aesop's told the story of the donkey walking through the plains and walked upon the skin of a fully grown male lion with that intimidating and dynamic mane. And the lion had been killed, but all of the skin and the mane were placed out in the sun to dry. And then a donkey comes by, a fully grown, stupid donkey comes by and sees this lion skin. And he walks away, but then he comes back because he has now a great idea. So he picks it up and he puts it on himself. And he almost immediately felt strong and majestic. And he noticed that as he walked through the plains, all the other animals just fled. Just his sight intimidated. And his donkey chest came out. And then he brayed. And hearing the bray, all of the other animals stopped. Some of them picked up clubs, some of them rocks, because his words had given him away. He was not the lion whose roar caused people to tremble. He was a donkey. And people who are able to convey thoughts with words are able to move men and women, and they can change things. Otis Moss. I love to hear him speak. He can just cough, and I said, man, did you hear that? Boy, that was profound. He was a Morehouse man, and Black America, that is the most prestigious school there is. And he was able to pastor a number of churches down in Georgia, which connected him with 334 Auburn Avenue Northeast, which was our national headquarters for the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, still is today. And so he met and became friends with all of these giants before his call to Cleveland, Ohio. He is a man who is in demand even in retirement because of his history and willingness to provide counsel to the civil rights giants like Martin King and Ralph Abernathy and C.K. Steele. He was and is a giant. And if there is a movie made about his life, it should be called The Giant, by the name of Otis Moss. I am thrilled and blessed to have an opportunity to just present a tiny piece of who he is. And may God bless him, and may he live to be another 92 years. Thank you very kindly.
I received a call on Friday, and I picked it up, and it was that voice. And you know, these days, oftentimes people aren't too happy to get phone calls. They just say, why didn't you text me? Why didn't you? The second I heard that voice, I was so happy I got a phone call just to talk to my friend. Dr. Moss had a minor health issue. It's worth praying for him, but we know the Lord has him. We know the Lord will see him through. The Lord's had him all these years. But the doctors wouldn't allow him to get on a plane. He dictated a letter, though, that I'm gonna read. I had the opportunity on inauguration morning in 2009 to accompany as a 20-year-old kid who knew nothing, even less than I know now, Reverend Joseph Lowry. I was able to look Reverend Lowry in his eyes and tell him thank you. America owes Otis Moss a great deal. The church owes Otis Moss a great deal. He is a giant. So I received this letter. I told my wife it's as if Howard Thurman reached out from beyond time to write a letter, but it wasn't Howard Thurman. It was Otis Moss. So let me read this letter that we're just honored to have. To the founder, president, and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life, staff and supporters, thank you. To our historic Emanuel Cleaver, you are the congressman from Missouri for all of America and beyond. To President Michael Ware and staff, thank you for this esteemed honor. Thank you for your righteous deeds and service. Thanks On behalf of my wife of 59 years, Edwina, our beloved children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, we live in an age of violent misrepresentation of the religion of Jesus of Nazareth. We are witnessing a vitriolic tide against democracy at home and around the world. Let it be forever remembered that all racism and hate lead to genocide. Professor George Kelsey taught us this decades ago, past, present, and future. In a society of hate, no one is safe. The haters and the hated are in constant danger. However, love, justice, liberation, transformation, and reconciliation must be our abiding commitment. This commitment must be kept alive and active from generation to generation. Our prayer must forever remain, dear God, make me too brave to hate and too courageous to be unkind. I accept this honor with the beautiful companionship of my wife of 59 years, our lovely children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, on behalf of a great host of liberators and laborers, past and present, and those yet to be born. Thank you, and thanks be to God. Blessings, amen. The Reverend Dr. Otis Moss, Jr. Dr. Moss couldn't be here, but if we could get a camera on stage, I wonder if he'd be standing right here. I wonder if just on the count of three, if we might say, thank you, Dr. Moss, so that we'll send this video to him right away. We'll send Congressman Cleaver's just an incredible introduction so that we could tell him to his face that we're grateful for his contribution to the church, to the country. And so we'll do this on three. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Dr. Moss.